So Frankenweenie has a very strong autobiographical background, not just for the characters and the set, but also it can be seen like a very long tribute to all the persons and movies that inspired you. And I think that the character of the science teacher in particular is the best example of it. How did you create it?
Well, that particular character was a combination of a few things. There's a little bit of Vincent Price in it, some Martin Landau in it, of course, because he did it. But also it's based on that couple of teachers. There's several teachers I had that were very imposing that you couldn't understand a word they were saying. And then there were teachers that were imposing that were very inspiring. So he was a combination of kind of those four elements.
Avra, did you invite one of your teachers at the premiere?
Yeah.
Did she come?
Yeah, she did. She's like in her 90s, but she was one of those ones that was inspirational. She wasn't scary like this, like the teacher in this. But, I think any child is lucky if you have one or two teachers in your whole life who inspire you to do something, and I was lucky to have at least two.
Okay. And did you already have all the characters in your mind when you shot the original film?
No. It came over years. I mean, the fun thing about this piece for me is I went back to the original drawings and looked at them, but also went back into my memories of remembering other kids in school and the type of kids and the weirdness of other kids and certain teachers, and even down to like places in Burbank, locations, the way the classroom looked. That was all fun to kind of go back and base it all on personal memories.
How did you work with the actors? Martin Short said that you're a kind of a painter and they provide you different shades of colors.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was lucky because I've worked with all of the main cast before, and particularly Martin Short and Martin Short and Catherine O'Hara. They're so good at doing all sorts of characters. So they did 3 characters, and Martin Landau's such a powerful thing, and Winona, who I love, she still sounds like she's 10 years old. It's like I was lucky to work with those people who I worked with in the past because they helped bring the characters to life.
What's your favorite sequence?
I don't know. I like them when they're making monsters. There's something about that, and also, but I think when the scene where he comes back is strong to me and powerful for me.
And if you could edit another of your movies with the same technique, and which one would you pick?
It's an interesting question, but I don't think I would. I think this was the only project that felt like, excited me, the idea of doing it stop motion, black and white, 3D. I don't think there is another one that I would revisit that way.
Or, for example, another of your works, I don't know, Stained Boy, maybe.
We never know.
And did your children watch the movie?
Yeah.
Did they like it?
Yeah.
I think it's very, a bit tough emotionally for a child.
Well, it's interesting, because for me, it was a very safe way of exploring it. And I think people forget, like Disney movies, if you look back to like Bambi or The Lion King, I mean, they were dealing with these kinds of issues. That's what Walt Disney did. They dealt with these issues. So I felt it was kind of a safe, positive way to deal with these themes.
And why did you choose Karen O for the soundtrack?
Well, it's just because I liked the song very much, and I felt that it sort of summed up the feeling of the film and the kind of... There's a certain type of music that I remember that fit my childhood and the neighborhood and the emotion of it. I felt like it was very, to me, inspirational and kind of sums up the film.
She said unconventional and...
Well, yeah, but beautiful and simple and pure, and I just felt that she sort of summed up the feeling of the film.
Do you think it's also like more or less a metaphor of your own relationship with Disney, like the story of the child?
Well, I mean, that's where I started my career, and so, it has a special place for me, It's obviously something that means a lot to me, and, anything, like your first kind of experiences and your first job, is always something that's very, important to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Really.
Nice to talk to you. Thank you.